you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome to Youth Wednesdays here on the Tobago Updates Morning Show. We're joining you live from the Port Mall here in Scarborough, Tobago. We want to send a special good morning to all of our viewers on Facebook, YouTube, and Channel 102 on Amplia. My name is Kaylee Lewis.
And I'm Dwayne Nurse. Good morning and welcome back. You know, it's been quite a while since
moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome to Youth Wednesdays here on the Tobago Updates Morning Show. We're joining you live here at the Port Mall in Scarborough, Tobago. It's a beautiful Wednesday morning, and we want to send special good morning greetings to all of our viewers on Facebook, YouTube, and Channel 102 on Amplia. My name is Kaylee Lewis.
And I am Dwayne Nurse. And good morning. It's been quite a long year without seeing you since last week, Wednesday. It feels like a year. You know, we miss you very much. I know you miss us all the same. And, you know, I hope that you guys are having a good morning. And thank you once again for choosing Tobago Updates. And I'm also joined with...
Good morning, Dwayne, Kaylee, and our lovely viewers here this morning. Thank you for joining us. Dwayne, I must say that you look very handsome this morning.
He does, indeed.
Listen, is a certain... Listen, viewers, for those who don't know, right, the comms just shut down in a little while. And I just saw myself and I said, well, I look nice, man. And I was like, well, it doesn't even compliment me. So I have to solicit a compliment from these goodly young ladies who get it free unsolicited from me.
Oh my, but Dwayne, it is the truth. You look very handsome this morning.
I do thank you for the compliment, but I have, it's a hard pill for me to swallow that it came from unsolicited place in your heart.
Dwayne, we do apologize for not complimenting you all the time before, but you continue to keep up this appearance and it looks good on you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
So let's go straight into news in 90 seconds with Natalia Nances.
News in 90 seconds is brought to you by Standards, never beaten on quality and prices.
Here is your news in 90 seconds for Wednesday, April 17th, 2024. Fishermen estimate over 13 million in losses due to the oil spill from the Gulf Stream shipwreck. Curtis Douglas, president of the All Tobago Fisherfolk Association, disclosed that he submitted an estimate due to the THA outlining over 13 million in losses incurred by the fisherfolk. They presented a copy of the cost analysis to Chief Secretary Farley Augustine on Monday. Douglas indicated that they have begun calculating costs from February 7th, when the oil spill began, to the present, but noted that this was not the final cost. He pointed out that between 75 and 100 fisherfolk on the island were directly affected. Secretary of Health, Wellness and Social Protection, Dr. Faith B. Israel, will co-chair and participate in a panel at a climate, heat and health workshop in Kingston, Jamaica from April 16th to the 18th. The workshop, organized by the U.S. NOAA, NWS, and the Meteorological Service of Jamaica, aims to enhance climate adaptation and resilience as part of the U.S. President's Prepare Plan. It will focus on developing a heat health early warning system and involve Caribbean climate and health stakeholders, including various national and regional organizations, NGOs, and community groups. National Security Minister Fitzgerald Hines clarified that the police have not been instructed to negotiate peace deals with rival criminal gangs, addressing a question in the Senate on Tuesday. He emphasized that the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service has never engaged in such dialogue, nor informed the government of any such actions. Hines reiterated the government's stance against endorsing such actions and pointed out the police's role in developing strategies to reduce crime and resolve gang-related issues. And that was your news in 90 seconds.
Life is good with Zero. Zero interest for 6 months. Zero down payments. Zero stress payment plan. That's right. With Standards, My Terms, we are putting the power of zero in your hands. Now, you can get that new sectional, fridge, stove, or TV for zero down. Pay zero interest later and enjoy a zero stress payment plan plus quick approval within 48 hours. Standards, never beaten on quality and prices.
Thank you, Natalia, for that wonderful read of the news.
You're welcome, Kaylee.
So when we're out of the Pisces season, you know, that glorious season has come to an end. But now I believe we're celebrating the Aries.
Yes, we must pave the way. And for those who might not be aware, I believe on some calendar, March is indeed the first month of our calendar year. I'm just saying. I might be wrong. I might be wrong.
Okay, so we're gonna head straight over into our birthdays for this morning.
We have Miss Natasha Kwashi. Happy birthday goes out to you from the Tobago Updates family. I hope you have a great day. Who do we have next?
And lastly, we have Miss Laurel Brown. Happy birthday to you. She's our last birthday on Tobago Updates here this morning. Happy birthday to you from the Tobago Updates family.
And might we even dare say happy birthday goes out to all those persons celebrating their birthday this week. And we love you and we give you all blessings and so on. And I hope that you flood Tobago Updates with your cakes and your desserts.
Of course. So viewers, we have a very packed and interesting show for you this morning. Dwayne, do you want to give the viewers the rundown?
That's not a problem. It's fine by me. Our first interview this morning is themed the Yui Cave Hill Guild Awards, and to have that discussion this morning, we're going to speak with Miss Daniel Wilson, and who is a multiple awardee. And next we have themed Caribbean Youth and Student Workshop. Mr. Darian Mitchell will be coming to speak with us about that this morning. And finally, we have Assembly Legislature Primary School Tour, a very exciting interview this morning, and we'll be speaking with Mr. Alex Job out of Assembly Legislature, Tobago House of Assembly. So that's all running this morning. I hope you join us, and remember to share the life, share the life, share the life.
You're the prize, you're the queen.
Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Ride the wave, come jump in the range, 100 funny, that's much your money mean. Don't need your love, that I cost me if pay. Like King Solomon, a bag a girl to me name. Every girl rock out, Lord, rock out. Me say hot girl, understand your time to step out. Big bumper girl, your time to get strap out. Hand on your knee, you treat a girl and your body. And every girl I get wild out tonight. Why? Party in my out tonight. If she suck, me a fine out tonight. I you don't know what a wild out tonight. Out the blue light, fear try out the back.
Hello everyone, it's your boy Harry here from Authentic Car Clinic, located right here in Tobago at Storby Local Road. You can WhatsApp us or call us at 366-4173.
is good with Zero. Zero interest for 6 months, zero down payments, zero stress payment plan. That's right. With Standards My Terms, we are putting the power of zero in your hands. Now, you can get that new sectional, fridge, stove, or TV for zero down. Pay zero interest later and enjoy a zero stress payment plan plus quick approval within 48 hours. Standards, never beaten on quality and prices.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
For those of you just joining us, we are on Youth Wednesdays on Tobago Updates. This morning we start our exciting interview segment with Mr. Daniel Wilson, who is the
Yo everyone, it's your boy Harry from Authentic Builders General Hardware, located right here in Tobago Local Road, Tobago. That's correct, right here in Tobago. And we are offering you guys the best prices on all hardware material. And if you would like to get your free quotation done, all you have to do is WhatsApp us at 272-1990 and we will give you guys the best prices on all hardware material. That is a guarantee as we are matching or beating any quotations.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
We do apologize for the technical difficulties. We continue on this morning with TTSA, Trinidad and Tobago Student Association, Mr. Daniel Wilson. He is the president of the TTSA at the UWI Cave Hill campus. I'm going to say good morning to Daniel.
Hi, good morning, Tobago. Good morning, everyone. So glad to be here.
Now, Daniel, I know that you are a familiar face in the Tobago space, but you are joining us from Barbados to tell us a little bit about your victories that you have had over the past semester.
Yes, so I am president of the Trinidad and Tobago Student Association at the University of the West Indies Cave Hill campus. And what the TTSA is, we are a welfare organization that seek to take care of the welfare of all Trinbago students studying at UWI Cave Hill. So we do this by putting on a number of events and initiatives geared towards promoting the cultural enrichment, educational pursuits, and just overall general immersion of our Trinbago members into our culture. And just a little background about the UWI Cave Hill environment. We are one of the most diverse campuses across the University of the West Indies. So we have students from all over the region, all over the world. I believe this is the first campus where you would find a student or students from both Antigua and Barbuda, students from both St. Vincent, the Grenadines. You would find a student from Bequia, you would find a student from Carriacou, Petit Martinique. You find students from all over the region. So we are really a melting pot here at the UWI Cave Hill. And the Trinidad and Tobago Students Association would have put on a number of events and initiatives under the umbrella of the TTSA Week 2024. So another background, each island association or each country association has their own week of events to showcase their unique culture, their heritage, and their history. So we would have put on our week from February 25th to March 3rd. And at the UWI Cave Hill Guild Awards that took place last Saturday, we were awarded for our success during this entire academic year in sharing our culture and just being a beacon for cultural immersion throughout the campus.
All right, so I do see you wearing a Student Guild t-shirt, right? So a lot of people might not be aware that there is a balance that you have to strike between doing your studies and, of course, handling the responsibilities of being president of the TTSA. So could you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, what is your major, what faculty do you belong to?
Okay, so currently I'm a third-year law student, and already that is a challenging degree in and of itself. For me, the balance really comes in prioritizing your task and ensuring that you always plan ahead. So, for instance, I've held this position of president of TTSA since June 1st of 2023, and my tenure ends June 1st, 2024. So, during that time, I would have had to make the conscious effort to not only give of my best to the organization and lead a 13-team executive, but also to prioritize my studies in the final year of my LLB. And I think it comes with a level of dedication, it comes with a level of practice, it also comes with a level of just knowing yourself and knowing your study habits, knowing your tendencies, and having a good grasp of what you're able to do and what you're not able to do, what you're comfortable with within the academic environment and what you're uncomfortable with. So for me, I could probably pick up a book a week or two before exam and be fine because I know how my study scheduling works. I know how I study and I could do it well. But for some, they might need a bit more time. So I think it's all about learning how you balance and perfecting that method.
All right. Thank you so much, Daniel, for telling us about yourself. Now, you managed to get a grip on several awards for the Student Guild Awards, right? So I'm just going to mention some of those awards before we actually get into what your preparation and stuff was like. So, viewers, he won President of the Year, Island Association of the Year, Most Outstanding ICC Executive, Best Cultural Night, Best Food Day, Best FET First Runner-Up, Best New Initiative Second Runner-Up. Daniel, I want to say congratulations to you. This was a lot to achieve, even through, as you said, such a jam-packed degree, right? So congratulations to you. So tell us, what was the preparation like? I mean, you have to retain the culture of Trinidad and Tobago, of course, and properly showcase it to the rest of the university and, by extension, probably some staff members and the other associations present. So how was the preparation like?
Well, first of all, I want to say that it was by no means a one-man show. It was not Daniel won all these awards, by no means. It was the Trinidad and Tobago Students Association. So I have a 13-member executive team that works tirelessly alongside me. And I just want to big up each and every one of them. Kalia, Sarah, Malik, Amira, Denique, Sidel, Akeem, Ebony, Rohan, Sydney, Chilika, Kennedy, and Adriana. They are really the backbone of the organization and would have allowed me as president to really just to inspire a vision among our Trinbago populace here at campus. The award ceremony was really a spectacular occasion because we were able to celebrate in the richness of our Trinbago culture, the Trinbago heritage. And not only that, the preparation leading up to executing a year-long a year-long series of events was really, really strenuous because we had to, first of all, brainstorm what do we really want to put forward to the UWKville populace? What aspects of our culture do we want to show? So I believe some of our major events throughout this academic year was definitely our TTSA Culture Night, where we would have got support from historical Tobago icons like Dr. Rita Pemberton. She shared some valuable insight to the organization with respect to our diversity and how it contributes to us developing as a people. Our culture night featured different aspects. We had live steel pan performances. We had different booths that showcased what we do during different festivities. So, for instance, Parang is not something that is, let's say, recognized on the scale that it is in Trinidad and Tobago across the region and across the world. So we showcased those elements. We had hot corn soup. We had the traditional Trinbago snacks in our culture night, and obviously we put on a showcase with that event. We also had other events that included a steel pan workshop, and this was led by our returning officer, Miss Adriana Joachim, and Mr. Akeem Morales, our CAC, where we taught students the art of playing the pan. We taught them the history of steel pan development. And this was really an immersive experience for students who are not really aware of the birthplace of pan, who are not really aware of its development and stuff like that. They were able to become fully engrossed within the instrument. We also had a food day that featured a number of Trinbago specialties. So we had the doubles, we had the curry, we had the corn soup, we had the Trinbago preservatives. We had everything on showcase for persons to really come and enjoy. And as I would have mentioned before, preparation really entailed a lot of teamwork, a lot of communication with our membership. And it really took a great chunk of us. But in the end, I believe that we were successful, not just because of the value of our ideas, but because of the support of our membership here at UWKville. Fun fact, we are the second largest student population at UWKville behind the home country of Barbados. And special shout out to all the Trinbago students studying at UWKville, because you are the ones who really contributed to the success of our initiatives by showing up, by participating, by supporting. You made the change and you contributed towards developing our Trinbago community here at Kville.
All right, so I see the amount of awards you've won. It's very important that we do retain our cultural identity when we do branch out into the various Caribbean islands. And looking at the list of awards that you have won, you have done an excellent job, Daniel. Congratulations to you. So as we wrap up our interview this morning, do you want to tell us what it was like when you received those awards? I mean, I was going to ask you about the curry thing, but you answered the question. A lot of people, when they hear Trinidad and Tobago, they automatically think doubles, pulori, roti, you know, the mix. So I'm happy that you included those. So before we finish up this morning, do you want to tell us what it was like receiving those awards? I saw a very big smile on your face in a lot of those pictures. So what was the feeling like?
Well, the feeling was really spectacular because, as I would have mentioned, the team and I put a lot of work throughout this entire year. So it wasn't just a success for me personally as president, but for the entire executive team. We were delighted to receive these awards. And again, we have a lot of persons to thank for these awards. Our sponsors here, Dr. Peter Shamey, Miss Carla Ali, Miss Arlene Daniel. We also received support from the Tobago Tourism Agency Limited, actually, as well. And especially our membership. You are the reason why we were successful in these awards, and you are the reason why the Trinbago culture and heritage continues to pervade not just throughout the region, but throughout even our little things that we do here on campus. Thank you so much for the support of the Tobago population, and thank you so much for having me here today just to share a bit about what we are doing to promote our cultural heritage overseas.
Thank you so much, Daniel, for being with us. I know you made many strides, as I said before, in Tobago, and it's very nice to see that you are making many over in Barbados. And on behalf, of course, of our little island of Tobago, Trinidad and Tobago, of course. Yes, so we continue on, and we would like to thank you so much, President of the Trinidad and Tobago Student Association. Congratulations once again from the Tobago Updates team. We continue on this morning, viewers, with our Caribbean Youth and Student Workshop, where Mr. Darion Mitchell will be telling us a little bit about. So as we continue on, we encourage you to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Tipsy presents Sip and Paint, an expression of a mother's love. Join us at the Tropicist Beach Hotel, Sunday, May 12th from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Guests are entitled to finger foods and wine. Full package painter tickets only $600. And if you just want to hang out, we've got you. Limers pay $450. You'll be entertained by a special sensational reggae artist, a live band, and come witness our bonfire. We've got loads of giveaways. We're catering to mom all evening. Sunday, May 12th, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Tropicus Beach Hotel. Come, sip and paint with Tipsy.
Deltec Distributors, best deal. 3 pounds pork, goat, chicken, turkey, beef, 5 meats, 3 pounds each, $300. Best deal. Or you could try 5 pounds pork, goat, chicken, turkey, beef, 5 meats, 5 pounds each, $500. Best deal. $20 delivery. Call winner 359-5040 or 237-0102. Order online at www.deltecdistributors.com or check winner Main Road, Argyle, Tobago. Deltec Distributors, best deal. The best place to stay in Tobago is at Thorn's Place, with rates starting as low as 200 TT. Call or WhatsApp 745-7306 or 682-8676. We are located uptown Scarborough, 5 minutes away from the port. Remember, at Thorn's Place, our aim is to make your stay safe and affordable.
How it's gonna go. They better look up and low, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up and low. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome back to Youth Wednesdays here on the Tobago Updates morning show. This morning we're chatting with the president of the Tobago Youth Council, Mr. Darion Mitchell. Good morning to you, Mr. Mitchell.
Good morning, Katie. How are you today?
I am fine, thank you. How are you?
I cannot complain at all.
Okay, great. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Persons know you in different capacities, but tell us about Darion Mitchell.
Okay, well, I'm first of all, the president of the Tobago Youth Council. I'm the GIS specialist at the Tobago Emergency Management Agency. I coach a volleyball club, player coach, along with football as well. So very diverse within the field of youth development.
Okay, wonderful. And let's talk a little bit about you in the capacity that you're representing this morning, Tobago Youth Council President.
Okay, so well, first of all, the Tobago Youth Council is an umbrella organization that oversees most of the NGOs throughout the island of Tobago. We usually work with the division sometimes as well as the ministry and other various NGOs across the island to achieve successful youth development programs across the island.
Okay. And last weekend, a group represented Tobago at the Caribbean Youth and Student Leaders Workshop Policy and Advocacy Training for a Sustainable Caribbean. Tell us about that program.
Well, there were 6 persons from Tobago who went across. It was a great time. It ran from the 12th to the 15th. Primarily what it dealt with is showing young persons as well as student leaders and youth leaders how to develop policies and how to advocate in a professional manner to achieve different goals or objectives, whether it be with politicians, with administration, or within their schools itself. So it was very insightful and it was very good in terms of the information, how it was delivered. It was very interactive. Well, it was also hosted by the St. Lucia National Youth Council as well as the Ministry for Youth Development and Sports.
Okay, and you mentioned the St. Lucia National Youth Council. We have the Tobago Youth Council, Trinidad Youth Council. I understand that there's an umbrella organization for all the national youth councils. Tell us a bit about that organization.
Okay, so that would be basically under the Caribbean Regional Youth Council, correct? Where the presidents would hold a seat for each NYC. So it's sort of like a mini CARICOM for us. So we come together annually to meet to discuss plans, develop programs, as well as see how best we can collaborate in terms of facilitating youth development throughout the Caribbean and not just on a local level.
Okay, and in terms of being able to apply for these sorts of opportunities, how can persons access this?
Okay, so you could always use social media. You can follow your local youth council pages, the Tobago Youth Council, the Trinidad Youth Council. There's also one on Instagram called Opportunities for Youth. So that's opportunities, the number for youth.
Okay, great, wonderful. And let's talk a little bit about the Tobago Youth Council and what they're doing right now in the Tobago space. Because your executive, you all came into office sometime last year. Let's talk about some of the things that you all would have done from then to now.
Wow, that's a lot. Between then to now, we developed a program called Career Catalyst. It usually runs during the summertime, so it will be coming back again this year. It's usually to help persons develop skill sets to help them attain a job. So cover CV letter writing, interview prep, public speaking, as well as we also incorporated last year how to start a business and or manage a business. We did a lot of consultations with NACC and various other ministries. But going forward, we want to do a segment called Youth Talks, where we hosted once a month with various NGOs such as JCI. We'll have Rotaract on board as well. I know you're part of Rotaract, as well as various other NGOs. Will be hosted once a month, as well as bringing back Career Catalyst. Based on the workshop that we would have attended, one of the things that I wanted to do would have been to do a youth policy and advocacy workshop for student leaders, primarily student councils and student leaders within the different high schools.
Okay, wonderful. Definitely a great job so far by the Tobago Youth Council executive. And when we started, you told us a little bit about yourself, GIS specialist, Tobago Youth Council president, among many other things. What drove you to choose this path of youth development? Choose this path, sorry.
Well, when I was younger, someone said, well, I used to complain about certain issues, and they said, if you have a problem with it, then go and fix it. And I said, okay. So when I was in sixth form at the Signal Hill Secondary School, I ran for student council president and started making changes from there. Then from there, I was captain for football teams. I would have moved on to the university level, where I held two consecutive positions on the executive for the Guild of Students. Then I moved on to the Tobago Youth Council for two consecutive terms. And basically that's where we are now. But there's a lot in between, but for the interest of time, we'll just leave it at those.
Oh no, we have a lot of time. You can talk as much as you want to. Okay, so let's get back to the workshop. What are some of the key takeaways from the workshop? Some of the things that stuck with you from the training sessions?
For me, one of the most important things, or the thing that stood out to me the most, was how you approach administration in terms of the policies you want to implement. And sometimes we as young people, we get emotional when we're trying to approach administration. And emotional intelligence as well as understanding how to approach an administration is very important as well, because the manner in which you approach them will also have a big impact on how they see you as an individual, as well as how they would have seen the organization. But just a question to you, I knew you were a part of the workshop as well. So what was your key takeaway from the workshop?
I mean, there were a lot of interesting things that we spoke about in the workshop. But one of them was one of the facilitators. She spoke about a strategy to get the administration on board. So you could have a petition and you let a lot of people sign it, and you bring it to them. You let them know that this is what you want to do, and if they shut it down, you just let them know. Well, these 200 people on this paper, I'm going to let them know that we put this forward, and you all did not agree to it. And this guy from Grenada, no, it wasn't Grenada. She was talking about the Too Young to Run campaign. And that was in a country where they wanted persons to be 40 plus to be able to run for prime minister or president, basically leadership positions in the country. And the young persons did a Not Too Young to Run campaign, and they were able to make the administration agree that they aren't too young to run, just like Marshall sang, too young for soca.
Too young for soca.
Yeah, so I think that was something that stood out to me definitely.
Okay, I also saw that you had some pictures with a senator. You could tell us what that experience was like.
Wow, the interview is becoming the interview. Wow. That was Senator Lisa. Her last name is extremely difficult to pronounce, and I really don't.
French Creole.
I really don't want to butcher it. She's a senator there in St. Lucia, and I found her to be very inspiring. I would definitely I followed her on social media. She followed me back, so
Kudos to you.
I definitely want to continue that sort of communication with her because she is extremely inspiring. She started her political career at age 30, and from what she would have said, her experience then to where she is now, it is very commendable because she was shy. She had no experience in the political space, and she's trying to change that for young persons. She did a period poverty campaign because that was something that was kind of taboo to them there in St. Lucia, especially the administration, because of the age and obviously it's males. So she started that campaign, and I think that was extremely commendable. So kudos to you, Senator. Very, very inspiring, and I hope that we can continue that communication.
I also saw that she would have had them remove. She had them remove the taxes on sanitary products for females. And I think that's something we should also look into, especially within the youth space in Tobago and Trinidad, because just something as simple as that, we know women usually advocate for these things. So I think that is a great insight, and that's something we could also mirror from St. Lucia as well.
Yeah, I think that's something that we should definitely try to adopt here. Taxes, removing the taxes on sanitary products, and that alone, I mean, in schools as well, a lot of times you have to pay for sanitary products, and that's something, we should just have free sanitary products in schools, because not all the times persons can afford it. There are a lot of young girls who can't go to school when they are on their period. They have to stay home because, just the knowledge in general, access to the products and knowledge on how to use it, knowledge on your menstrual cycle and that sort of thing. That's something that we should definitely introduce within the Tobago space. But back to you. I know that sometimes being a youth leader can be a lonely road, and we learned about that in the workshop. Being a youth leader, being a youth advocate, it can be a very lonely road. What is your motivation? What continues to motivate you throughout your journey?
My motivation, I think it's seeing other persons succeeding, as well as bringing out that level of confidence in them. Because as you said, the senator was shy at first, but that meant that someone would have believed in her to give her that position. And that's something I usually believe in. Sometimes you see the potential in someone, but they're too shy. So just giving them the opportunity to develop themselves or to be a better person or to bring out that level of confidence is something that really motivates me or drives me. Giving persons the opportunities that you never had when you were growing up, as well as advancing their abilities or their skills.
Okay. And what are some of the challenges that you would have faced so far on your youth development journey, and how did you overcome them?
As with everyone, there are persons who are going to like you, persons who won't like you, persons who will try to demotivate you, whatever their various reasons are. But once you are true to yourself and Father God is with you, then you shouldn't have any issues going forward.
Okay. And Mr. Mitchell, what advice do you have for young persons who are probably interested in youth work, youth development? What advice do you want to give to them?
The most I could say is be as involved as possible. Being involved in youth work or volunteerism adds to your resume. In addition to that, it also helps you to develop various skills, and it also helps you to network. At the end of the day, your network is your net worth. So try your best to be involved as possible, give back into various ways, whether it be in sport, academic, etc. Learn to develop a skill and be the best you that you can possibly be.
Okay, wonderful. And who would you like to thank, not only for the workshop that we spoke about, or not only TYC, but in general, the persons who would have helped you become who you are today?
First of all, I'd like to thank God. My parents and my family, they stand beside me. My friends, my spouse, and the persons as well as within the division of sports and youth affairs. They would have given the funding to assist some of the persons to go across as well. So I'm very grateful for that to the administrator, the director of youth, the youth officers, as well as Mr. Skeeter as well, who would have been a very important person who usually assists me and guides me in terms of ensuring that that level of professionalism is always there despite what is taking place in the youth space.
Okay, wonderful. And before we go, let's just tell the viewers a little bit about what the Tobago Youth Council has in store for the young people of Tobago.
Okay, so coming up, we will be having Youth Talks. It will be hosted on the first Wednesday in every month, spanning from June to October. In addition to that, we would also be having Career Catalyst. We'll be having CV writing, interview prep, as well as various skill sets development programs so that you can attain a job. As well as we want to do the student leader workshop based on policy and advocacy for the incoming student councils, because I know most of them have their elections going on shortly. So we're aiming for September, as well as with the division of education, health, wellness, social protection, as well as youth development, youth and sport. We want to have a school health quiz hosted within the time frame of September, as well as International Youth Day will be coming up in August. So we have been already in the planning phases with the Division of Youth Affairs and Sports.
Okay, so you're speaking about collaborations with the Division of Youth Affairs and Sports, the Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection also. Just tell the viewers a little bit about your connection with the administration, with the divisions, how easy it is for you to be able to collaborate. Do you all have a good relationship? What are the conversations like?
We do have a great working relationship because respect is given throughout the room. So what we try to do is see how best all parties can benefit from the programs going forward, because everybody usually has a campaign in which way they will have to focus on youth development, as we would usually have limited resources and the different divisions would also have resources that would be able to assist us. So it's all about cost saving as well as being mutually beneficial to each other.
Okay, and I know recently you won an award with the Caribbean Regional Youth Council. Tell us a little bit about that award. That was sometime last year.
Well, ideally that award was a tie, and funny enough, it was the St. Lucia National Youth Council President and I that won the award for youth leader in terms of NGO. It was unexpected to me, but I guess sometimes different persons do see the hard work that you are doing, whether it's publicized or not.
Okay. Well, Mr. Mitchell, we want to thank you so much for coming on and chatting with us this morning. Congratulations to you on all the work that you have been doing. We're extremely proud of you, and we do encourage you to keep up all of the good work. Viewers, we're going to be taking a short break, and we are going to be right back. Remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
No place like home, home, home.
Oh, I love Tobago, baby.
When we outside, it's an ocean of love. All that we align to the stars up above. Let we dance now. Take a chance now with me. And we go jump till morning. Look, the moon gone sleeping. Tell them we not leaving. Till the last drop of bacchanal is madness in the capital. So I feel like I'm running tongue again. Jump and shake the ground again. Live with all my friends and them. No place like home. We go jump till the moon come down. It's we who the stars shine on. Play a mass and break away. Freedom in we DNA.
On Saturday, April 27th, the atmosphere in Black Rock, Tobago will be filled with the sweet sound of jazz as Black Two Sugars and Starfish Tobago present Beachfront Jazz from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. A premium drinks inclusive event featuring Ace Bajan saxophonist Arturo Tappan and band, Trinidad Top Jazz Ensemble, Alan Paulay with Vaughn and Bigfoot, Tobago songstress Kai DeVere, and just added veteran jazz guitarist Michael Boothman, pianist Hannah Goodrich, and new sensation Rose. Backed by the Beachfront Jazz Project, led by Emmy Fortune. Beachfront Jazz, all part of the Tobago Jazz and Music Weekend. Get your tickets now at Cache Port of Spain, Trin City, Eastgate, Gulf City Malls in Trinidad, Lowlands Mall in Tobago, and GenCare Day Spa, Woodbrook and Tobago. Or call 681-1516 or 627-4141. Brought to you by B-Mobile, our telecommunications partner, RBC Royal Bank, Angostura Premium Rums, Hennessy, Johnny Walker Scotch, and the Prime Minister Sports and Culture Fund. Beachfront Jazz, April 27th, Black Rock, Tobago.
Hey, how are you going? Uncle Errol here. Listen to me. I'm so happy to announce that on the 25th, 26th, and 27th of April, Karaoke Guyal will be in Tobago. I'm looking forward to it so much. There's a grand prize of $10,000. So you can take part. Registration is easy. You call 371-7355. That number again, 371-7355, and register. It costs $100. Now the prelims are at Big Dog. That's on the 25th and on the 26th. And the grand final is at Village Vibes Bar in Mason Hall. Now the admission for Village Vibes Bar final is $150. However, if you have your Guyal t-shirt, which costs $100, you can walk in free of charge. Call the same number to buy your t-shirt, to order a t-shirt. Oh, geez, and ages again, but we're so excited about being in Tobago for Karaoke Guyal.
Life is good with Zero. Zero interest for 6 months. Zero down payments. Zero stress payment plan. That's right. With Standards My Terms, we are putting the power of zero in your hands. Now, you can get that new sectional, fridge, stove, or TV for zero down. Pay zero interest later and enjoy a zero stress payment plan plus quick approval within 48 hours. Standards, never beaten on quality and prices.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to Youth Wednesdays on the Tobago Updates Morning Show. You're viewing us here live in Portmore, Scarborough, Tobago. You're joining at Natalia, Miss Natalia Nancis and Dwayne Nurse. And we have a bit of change in the schedule for you this morning, and we're just gonna have a bit of a conversation about some pertinent issues surrounding Tobago. What has been happening in this space that is of grave concern to you, Miss Nancis?
Well, I think, Dwayne, before we came on here, we were having a conversation about the constitution reform, about the laws that govern our entire country, and of course, how Tobago is affected by them.
Right.
So,
they're throwing back at me. But constitutional reform is basically just exactly what it is. You're reforming the constitution to more or less change certain laws, adjust the laws to suit modern times, as to not impede or to foster development in the country. As you would understand, the constitution is those set of written laws that we have that governs everything that we do, from government to non-governmental organizations and even our citizens. So it's a very important topic. I know that it's a very important topic because we have been hearing about constitutional reform for those who are following the politics of the day. And I could tell you that I hope, and the concern that might arise out of this discussion is this another talk, a mere talk about constitutional reform, right? For us here in Tobago, we may not really care to delve into that, because it's laws, it's politics, who cares?
No, but that affects Tobago, so we can't just put it aside as Tobagonians.
Yes.
We have to see the impact of what change in the law means for us.
Right.
And as we mentioned, the autonomy of Tobago.
Yes.
That has been a talk for some time.
Yes, and the constitutional reform gives Tobago another opportunity to table its concerns, its suggestions, its positing its stance, to advocate for Tobago autonomy, self-governance, as they would call it. And I think it's a very important topic for our youth. And I know that, you know, it's a very hard topic to digest. It's a topic that, you know, you don't see no real tangible benefits as a youth trying to understand what is happening around that constitutional reform, especially pertains to Tobago's autonomy. But I could tell you that the autonomy issue, right, linked or hinged on constitutional reform, means a lot of positives to Tobago. Not just in lawmaking, not just in you know, having more to work with and being able to truly stand side by side with Trinidad. Our standard of living, right, is hinged in a very intricate way as it pertains to law and the Constitution.
I don't want to ask too hard of a question, and I don't want to have you nervous, because in a way you're in the seat. You're right. In the way you're in the seat of the interviewee.
Yes.
Right. So I have a question. A lot of people ask when you bring up Tobago autonomy, whether it be Trinidadian or Tobagonian, they ask if Tobago is ready for autonomy.
Right.
So what is your views on that?
And I know you don't answer a question with a question, but what does it mean to be ready? Right? Was Trinidad ready when we became a ward to them? Were they ready when they you know, when the Queen gave them independence?
Became a republic.
Were they ready when they first drafted the Constitution? Some might argue yes, some might argue no. What indicates readiness? And I think when I look at history, we had a lot of advocacy, we had a lot of activism for independence and for us to become an autonomous country, right? And that, to me, indicates readiness, right? And what is happening now in the Tobago context is that we have a lot of agitation. We have been having a lot of agitation for about 40 years, or over 40 years, right? That indicates to me that we are ready. Readiness to me would mean that you're showing a concern or a desire to have the thing that you're advocating for, right? The other things will work itself out over time.
Right, and we're talking about food and these type of things, because I don't know if you realize, but whenever boats or transport is down the sea bridge, especially where the goods truck will come up on the cabo stand, all of this, whenever the cabo stand is not available, what happens to goods in Trinidad? Because I see a lot of food vendors, you know, they don't get their fruits, etc., etc. So where do you think we'll be sourcing?
And let me tell you something. I don't want to be provocative. I want to end by saying this. it is very tangible. It's a very tangible benefit. And think about it this way: when you order your clothes from H&M and all these other American conglomerates,
yes,
where do they come to? Right, they don't necessarily come straight to Tobago. They pass Tobago and go to Trinidad.
Right.
No, I'm not trying to be antagonistic, right? But that says to me that there's an opportunity for Tobago to also participate in some direct injection as it pertains to shipping and handling of some of our commodities that we consume. And in so doing, I believe, right, that if we have that opportunity, a lot of the things that we complain about in terms of prices will go down.
Right.
Right? Because if it comes directly to Tobago, a lot of what we consume in the country is imported foods in the first place. If some of that comes to Tobago, that in terms of what we consume, then our supermarket prices might be a lot more competitive. That's just one tangible benefit that I see as it pertains to this whole discussion about constitutional reform in the context of Tobago's autonomy. But unfortunately, this brings us to the end of our interview for this week on Tobago Youth Wednesdays on Tobago Updates Television. I want to thank you for joining us. Natalie, any parting words for us?
Well, Dwayne mentioned a lot about, being ready and being prepared for Tobago's autonomy and these type of things. So all in general, I just admonish us to be ready for anything that is thrown our way for the upcoming week. As youths, as entrepreneurs upcoming, we need to all be ready for changes that might happen on our little island of Tobago, right? So with this, I encourage all of you to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Have a great day.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
Welcome to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates, your source for current affairs in Tobago, Trinidad, and the region, with the perfect conversations to complement your morning routine. I am Candice Jackson, and let's get started with the news in 90 seconds.
News in 90 seconds is brought to you by Standards, never beaten on quality and prices.
Fishermen estimate over $13 million in losses due to the oil spill from the Gulf Stream shipwreck. Curtis Douglas, president of the All Tobago Fisherfolk Association, disclosed that he submitted an estimate to the THA outlining over $13 million in losses incurred by the fisherfolk. They presented a copy of the cost analysis to Chief Secretary Fali Augustine on Monday. Douglas indicated that they have begun calculating costs from February 7th when the oil spill began and to present, but noted that this was not the final cost. He pointed out that between 75 and 100 fisherfolk on the island were directly affected. Meanwhile, Secretary of Health, Wellness and Social Protection, Dr. Faith B. Israel, will co-chair and participate in a panel at a climate, heat and health workshop in Kingston, Jamaica from April 16th to the 18th. The workshop, organized by the USNOAA and NWS and the Meteorological Service of Jamaica, aims to enhance climate adaptation and resilience as part of the U.S. President's Prepare Plan. It will focus on developing a heat health early warning system and involve Caribbean climate and health stakeholders, including various national and regional organizations, NGOs, and community groups. And finally, National Security Minister Fitzgerald Hines clarified that the police have not been instructed to negotiate peace deals with rival criminal gangs, addressing a question in the Senate on Tuesday. He emphasized that the TTPS has never engaged in such dialogue nor informed the government of any such actions. Hines reiterated the government's stance against endorsing such actions and pointed out that the police's role in developing strategies to reduce crime and resolve gang-related issues. And that was the news in 90 seconds.
Life is good with Zero. Zero interest for 6 months. Zero down payments. Zero stress payment plan. That's right. With Standards, My Terms, we are putting the power of zero in your hands. Now, you can get that new sectional, fridge, stove, or TV for zero down. Pay zero interest later and enjoy a zero stress payment plan plus quick approval within 48 hours. Standards, never beaten on quality and prices.
Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates. Viewers, of course, we know that we've had some disturbing news gracing our headlines recently, and specifically relating to, some cases of domestic violence where we're seeing, women continue to be brutalized, continue to be killed, and face certain situations within their relationships. And it begs the question that we need to continue to speak about some of these issues and bring some light, especially to those persons that may be trapped, or those persons might know people who may be stuck in certain situations that they are facing these challenges. So to speak with us this morning, I am being joined by Miss Onika Maz, and of course she is, her as a founder of Women of Substance. So special good morning and welcome to you.
Good morning, Candace. Good morning, Tobago. Good morning to our viewers. And first, I want to say congratulations, because this is a conversation that is necessary, it is relevant, and I'm happy that the conversation is being had outside of Domestic Violence Awareness Month in October or November during 16 days of activism. So thanks to Tobago Updates for that.
Certainly, and this is something that we plan to keep going as much as possible, because even though for some people might be hearing this news, like they might say that, okay, they're talking about it again, but the truth is, we can never finish talking about it because it continues to affect so many of our women.
Definitely, and this is domestic violence and abuse is something that occurs on a daily basis. And I believe we need to keep the conversation going so that persons are aware it is in their faces, and once it is in their faces, they are being educated. We are raising awareness. Persons are aware of the do's and don'ts, and aware of, what a red flag looks like, what a unhealthy relationship looks like, what a healthy relationship looks like. So the conversation must continue 24/7, 365.
And I want to stick right there where, understanding what a domestic violence situation looks like. Because a lot of times people would tell you, well, you didn't think that this person would act this way, or you didn't realize that it would end up this violent or anything like that, like they didn't see the warning signs. And talk us through, especially when we're hearing these stories coming up and we're wondering, how these people could not leave before. Tell me about some of the things that people go through in a relationship that might sort of blind them to the realities of the situation.
Well, the first thing that blinds persons, I think, is that idea of being in love. Yeah? So you're thinking that I'm in love, and I'm in love with this person, and this person wouldn't hurt. Now, the reality is that love shouldn't hurt. Yeah? So because we are in love, we overlook signs that we are supposed to keep our eyes wide open to. And because we are in love, we tend to believe, well, okay, this person wouldn't do X or this person wouldn't do Y. And we're thinking that, okay, let us say they would have yelled at us in the presence of friends or, in a public space. We may think, okay, we may have done something to upset them, so let me overlook that. So when they apologize and, they say to us, if you didn't behave in that manner, I would not have reacted. Yeah? So these are things we tend to overlook, which we definitely should not. We need to pay attention and, be alert in our relationships.
And then how do we help even our friends, our family, point out those issues? Because they themselves, like you said, as you're in a relationship, you're in love, and you're not thinking that this person is going to hurt you, but there are warning signs, and you're blinded. But then somebody from the outside might see it. But then how do you reach out, and how do you help them understand, hey, something is not wrong here, something is wrong here?
Right. First of all, we want to listen without judgment. A lot of times, people on the outside, when persons come to a place where they trust you enough to share their experience, we judge. We live in a society that is very judgmental, right? And the first question is, what did you do? You must have done something for him to be abusive or for her to be abusive, right? We should listen without judging because nobody knows from on the outside what happens. Yeah. And a lot of times people tend to make comments. People tend to say things, you know, they have their own idea of how they would have dealt with it. But, you know, we would have heard the saying, walk a mile in her shoes and then tell her how you feel because now you've had the experience. A lot of persons who share opinions and, you know, make remarks that are a lot of times very painful and negative, they have never experienced domestic violence and abuse or intimate partner violence. Yeah. So then we want persons to listen without judging. We also want persons to provide that support by through, of course, our awareness and education, refer persons to agencies that can assist, right? For example, Women of Substance. We have also the Coalition Against Domestic Violence. We have the Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection. Refer persons because a lot of times, because you don't have the information and the knowledge, you may give information that is wrong. You may tell your friend, if it was me, I would boil some hot oil and pour it on him while he's sleeping. It is not the right thing to do. And it means you're setting up your friend for a horrible experience, which is an experience with the law, right? So you want to guide the person to reach out for that much needed assistance. One of the things that we can also do in providing support is respect their decisions, right?
And that's so important.
Definitely, because you want the person to still have that feeling that they, although their partner may have made them feel that they have lost all control, right? The person you still want to respect their decision. Their decision may not be the best at the moment, but we still respect. They may know why they are unable to leave the relationship right away. They may have children. They may have situations where we have a lot of situations where persons in relationships, they have loans together. They may have lived together for years. They may have contributed towards the home. And in their mind, they are not seeing threat to life and you know, all that. They are clouded by the fact that they are in love and they are thinking that, you know what, I would have invested so much. I spent so much money on, you know, contributing to this house. I spent. But you know what, at the end of the day, if they believe that I want to give this person another chance or I want to leave next month instead of right now, we need to respect their decision and understand that they too, their decisions are valid. It may not seem to you who are on the outside, but they know because they are in the relationship. We can continue to guide, however. Yeah.
But I mean, and talk to me about that situation of, especially being in a place where you seem as though, like, I mean, you've invested so much and starting over seems scary. Because I don't think a lot of us, we confront that idea. It's like, you know, yeah, it's easy to say, you know, if he's being this way, leave, you know, and start over. But starting over is not easy for many, many people.
And starting over is always rough. But I tell people, when you are starting over, you're starting over from a place of experience. And for me as a believer, right, I know about faith. I tell people all the time, faith is the currency I use. And you have to trust. You have to trust God in the process because starting over, yes, you may not have a job. Yes, you may not have support from your family. Yes, you may not have all the necessary tools to work with to navigate your situation. But know that starting over it's okay to start over. Because if you stay in that place where, you're in that abusive relationship, your life could come to an end. And you now have your children. Who is going to care for your children? So these are some of the things that I encourage women to look at. Think about your children. Think about the fact that your children didn't ask to come here. Think about the fact that this toxic environment affects your children. And that is something that is really, really dear to me, because people tend not to look at the repercussions. People tend not to look at how domestic violence and abuse affects children. There are long-term effects. I'm praying and trusting God that one day I will do some research and do an article or a journal or something on the effects of domestic violence and abuse on children. We often say that children are resilient, right? And a lot of times we feel that because children may be 3, 4, 5 years old, they don't have a clue about what is going on. They may be 6, 7, they don't have a clue. But I want to say to parents, children in their formative years, they are very much aware. I have 2 nephews that are 6 and 7 years old. And sometimes when I listen to their conversations, it's like how do these children relive or, relate things that happened. Recently, my 6-year-old nephew, my sister sent me a video with him saying, I want to pray for mommy and daddy and, my brother. And he was like, talking like he was praying in tongues. This is what he sees his mom doing. This is what he hears. And he was able to relate that. You understand? So then we think that they don't understand. We think that they don't know what is happening. But we need to understand that our children have a right to safety and security. Our children have a right to healthy environments. So we need to be mindful of that.
All right. Well, and unfortunately, we're out of time for this segment. But of course, really want to thank you, Ms. Miles, for being on. But I can't leave without you sharing just your contact details, because, of course, it is always important to have a space for people to reach out if they need to reach out.
Oh, okay, sure. So I can be contacted at 485-9534. And that is 485-9534. Also, we have our Facebook page, Women of Substance Tobago. We also have our email, womenofsubstancetobago@yahoo.com. And, I want to encourage persons to reach out. Do not feel ashamed. Do not feel embarrassed. Know that suffering in silence is not a good option. Reach out and get the necessary help.
All right. Thank you so much. And
Thank
of
you
course,
for having
viewers,
me.
if you need to, please reach out. There is help available. All right. So we got to go for a quick break, but we'll be back right after this.
The energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hit.
You're the prize, you're the queen.
welcome back to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates, viewers. Now, we are sort of continuing the same strain of conversations as we, sort of try to unpack what's been going on in our society and what's leading to some of the violence that we're seeing and unfortunate situations, especially where children and women are concerned. So in this segment, I'm going to be joined by Pastor Clive Dotton. And of course, he is with the Seventh-day Adventist churches and has been very much an activist within our space and so on. So, good morning and welcome to you, Pastor Dotting. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning. Well, I am getting ready for a full day, if you please. So I'm happy to join the conversation. Could I make a statement based on your last interview?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I have a little statement I use, and that is, women were not meant to be intimidated, humiliated, or assassinated. And I want to repeat that. Women were not meant to be intimidated, humiliated, or assassinated. Now, the recent case with the 4-year-old, I heard lots of comments. And sometimes I hate to say, but what actually happens in a large chunk of our society is that they blame the wrong person. I mean, whether it's demon possession, whether it's psychotic behavior, whether he was on cocaine or what have you, how in heaven's name can you justify that action? I mean, you see the pictures of that child, Lali child, and I mean, it breaks your heart. When I heard it the first time, I was stunned. And apparently, the woman, the mother of the child, was in a very abusive situation. And sometimes you wonder, where was the community? Where were the relatives? You know what I mean? Where were the law enforcement officers? So I think we have to be very careful that sometimes, we don't come across. I hear a lot of people talking in the society, and it boils down to making an excuse for the offender who committed an act of savagery. I just want to say that.
And, I want to stick with that point, especially the point you made about, women are not meant to be humiliated and embarrassed and so on, because that is also some of the situations which lead to women keeping themselves in some harmful situations and then ultimately leads to their demise or the harm of their children and so on. I mean, what's been going on in our society when it comes to even the way we view women, and especially when some of our women may not be making the best decisions, but instead of helping, we are shaming them?
Well, you are totally correct. Now, whether you're in parliament or not, and I have to be very careful here, there's a very sensitive issue. But we have a classic case of abuse right before our very eyes, coming from the corridors of power, all right? And the case is all over the media, and I should tell you, it has attracted social media, where a political functionary of a particular party got in a very strange situation and is refusing, all right, to have the person charged. Is refusing, is saying she's not interested in that. I want to say this morning, I totally disagree with that position. Now, on the other hand, I want to tell ladies, be careful in your choices. Make the right choices. I feel that guy should be put away for more than 10 years. All right? Clear to me. All right? If the facts on social media and mainstream media are correct. All right? Any case like that, person should be put away for a long time. But I also want to say that women must have the courage to go forward and press charges. Otherwise, what will happen? We're going to have a repeat of this situation, and we would never break the cycle of abuse. Now, this concerns me a whole lot, because it would take courage by the community, courage by relatives. Look at what happened with Crystal Aricharan. And now a relative has been shot and killed too, falling up close on the heels of her being shot and killed. I want to tell you, Tobago never become like Trinidad, because Trinidad is a lawless place right now. The institutions are broken down. We are facing anarchy at a huge level. And women, you were never designed to be a punching bag. You were never designed. I worked with a girl from Tobago within the past 15 months, and I applaud her. She walked away because apart from the abuse, she got tipped off from somebody inside the mafiatic circle that she was to be killed by the guy she was sleeping with. Could you imagine that, my dear? Could you imagine that? That you are sleeping with a guy and that guy is planning to kill you? And she walked away and gave her heart to Christ. And I applaud her because there are some children involved here. And I applaud her fortitude. She wants what is best for children, acknowledging the mistakes she made in the past, but wants what is best for her children. And I want to tell women this morning, the best way is the matrimonial way. I have to say that. The best way is the matrimonial way. And you must not feel any fake confidence that you're in a relationship where the guy has other women, other children, and you feel safe and you're saying you are number one. You might be number none. I want to repeat that. You might not be number one, you might be number none. And the guy is just using you. And I observed something in Tobago where guys are taking their parents and grandparents had earned assets like land, and investing it into the drug trade. All right? And pretty soon what you would have, Trinidad Tobago will have a country where you have more foreign ownership than local ownership. And that will be horrendous for Tobago.
And I mean, as you're speaking on some of those issues that we may not be paying attention to because we're sometimes so trapped in our own little bubbles that we're not really paying attention to the signs around us. And especially also when it comes to like relationships and how we handle relationships, because a lot of times children they grow up whatever, they're left on their own, they're left to their own devices, and then they fall into, as they grow older, they fall into relationships that may not be healthy, and then they result in these situations. And like I said, the cycle continues. How do we get involved? How do our people, or the right-thinking people of Trinidad and Tobago, get involved in a way that helps them, but not further stigmatize them or further discriminate against them?
You asked a brilliant question. I was in a church, not a Seventh-day Adventist church, but I was in a particular church, and that exact question I was raised. I'd say number one, calling experts and individuals who have the experience, who may have a group, maybe the Rape Crisis Center, it may be a woman's group, it may be WIND or WAND or what have you, but calling individuals. I tell pastors, calling individuals. You know what happens in the church sometimes, if I should touch on that with your permission?
Sure.
What happens in the church sometimes, because we believe in God and study the Bible, we feel we are experts in everything. We are not experts in everything. Let us get that straight. And we mustn't confuse faith in God with being experts in everything. That's the first thing. Depend on people who have the training. And I want to say, form a support group where you are. Do the training. And after you've do the training and people feel a certain level of competency and they feel safe in the space of counseling individuals, you open the church to have people. Now, I was in a certain place in Tobago and somebody asked me, well, who will take care of them when they come? The church. I'm sorry to say that, but I have to tell you the truth. The church. Now, I'm not saying that governmental agencies and other NGOs don't have a role to play, but the church definitely has a role to play. Now, imagine you're in church, and I had that experience with one of our churches, where one of the chief administrators, who we call elders in the Seventh-day Adventist Church, all right, was involved in the abuse of his wife. And I told that church, the church leadership, that guy should be suspended and even reported pending investigation. We cannot have individuals in the church been absolutely poor role models. As I talk about the church, I want to talk to the parliamentarians. I want to talk to the business icons in our society who have a lot to say on this issue, but sometimes are poor role models themselves. So I am saying, start the training, all right? Get a group of interested people, lay people with a proven track record, organize and form a very well-structured support group and take it from there. Now, I am one for an interfaith approach. As you know, I was in Mount St. George 2 weekends ago. You should know that. And we confronted all the hotspots, gun hotspots, gambling hotspots. And what I love about the village council, it was an interfaith activity. See the Baptists and their white gongs, if you please, there. All right, and you had the evangelicals and you had the Anglicans. It was a village council thing. It wasn't pushed by our church, in the first instance, but they give support, and the other 5 other church groups gave support, and you had the police there, playing a significant role. You had NGOs there, and we ended up on the main road there outside Mount St. George. So that is the first step. Our next step is the formation of the support groups. So I am saying, and when people come to us, and I heard the former interviewee state that we have a tendency to be judgmental. Don't be judgmental. You didn't go through the background of the person, the experience of the person. And you know something? Sometimes the abused person becomes the abuser.
Yes.
You know that, right?
Yes.
The abused person becomes the abuser. And ladies, please check the background of the guys you are selecting to be a life partner. All right? Please check the background of the person who's supposed to be your partner for life. Not for a month, not for a year, but for life. That is what I want to say this morning.
And it's certainly such an excellent point to end on. Of course, some things that we need to pay attention to, as well as, addressing the fact that, sometimes we in our society, and we are very reluctant to hold people account for their actions. And as you brought up the point of, when you have certain people in power that are accused of certain things like this, and instead of, putting that person in a place where they can treat with it, we leave them there. And that really results in unfortunate situations. So I want to thank you so much, Pastor Doctor, for being on with us.
God bless you.
All right, take care. And viewers, don't go anywhere. We've got more coming up for you after the break.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion starter.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules, or if you are having a cooking day off.
At JK Tech, we bring technology to your doorstep. From cutting-edge laptops to reliable printers, we've got it all. Nationwide delivery and a new website for easy online ordering. JK Tech is your one-stop shop for your electronics and computer needs, carrying top brands such as Acer, Samsung, HP, and much more. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at JK Tech TT or visit jktechtt.com. Quality tech is just a click away. JK Tech. Evaluate your shopping experience, your tech, your way. Call or WhatsApp 383-2651. Shop smart, shop JK Tech.
The best place to stay in Tobago is at Thorns Place with rates starting as low as 200 TT. Call or WhatsApp 745-7306 or 682-8676. We are located uptown Scarborough, 5 minutes away from the port. Remember, at Thorns Place, our aim is to make your stay safe and affordable.
Hey, how are you going? Uncle Errol here. Listen to me. I'm so happy to announce that on the 25th, 26th, and 27th of April, Karaoke Gael will be in Tobago. I'm looking forward to it so much. There's a grand prize of $10,000. So you can take part. Registration is easy. You call 371-7355. That number again, 371-7355 and register. It costs $100. Now the prelims are at Big Dog. That's on the 25th and on the 26th. And the grand final is at Village Vibes Bar in Mason Hall. Now the admission for Village Vibes Bar final is $150. However, if you have your Gael t-shirt, which costs $100, you can walk in free of charge. Call the same number to buy your t-shirt, to order a t-shirt, which is again, but we are so excited about being in Tobago for Karaoke Gael.
Tobago on Tobago Updates. Viewers, now we are switching our conversations this morning to something that might help boost you as somebody who might be wanting to, be a little bit more financially independent and so on. So we're talking this morning about a special business development seminar that's being put on by JCI Tobago. And to speak to us a little bit about that this morning, we are being joined by Onella Douglas, who's the Executive Vice President of JCI, as well as the PRO of JCI Tobago, Ms. Darian Phillips. So good morning and welcome to you both. How are you guys this morning?
Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for having us.
All right, great. So first of all, tell me about what is this business development seminar?
Okay, well, following the uncertainty of COVID-19, coming out of that, the world needed to regenerate and to rebuild ourselves and our economy. So JCI members are charged with the responsibility to take on an initiative in their community, in their part of the world that would help small businesses, help youth entrepreneurship. So we decided to put on a business development seminar to help the small businesses in Tobago to get themselves ready for some of the latest trends. So as you see, the CROSS, which is the company registry online, then we have the OPR, and then we're going to talk about building your online presence.
Mm-hmm. So tell me about the seminar, the details of the seminar itself. When is it happening? Where is it happening?
Okay, so it is on May 25th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. The location is not yet confirmed, but that would be advertised as soon as possible. And it is not for free. It is at a cost of $250, which is a steal of a deal because persons usually would charge a whole lot more, especially to put on a seminar of this caliber with the OPR registry and the cross system setup. So you're getting a steal of a deal for $250.
Tell me a little bit about even some of the facilitators that's going to be on board with you guys to help transfer this knowledge to the attendees.
Okay, so the first set of topics, which are navigating the cross, as well as letting persons know about the financial documents that are needed to start a bank account, will be facilitated by Talisha Tony. A lot of us in this space know her from Tony's Financial. She offers these services through her business, so she is most fitting to come and speak to participants of the training about this. Then we will have a name procurement officer and somebody who works in the field of procurement to help persons to navigate the OPR depository. So to tell you what you need in order to sign up to the depository so that when you get on there, you just don't get stuck by starting an account and you get stuck. So we're going to tell you about all the documents you need so that when you go on, you do everything in one go. And then finally, to talk about building your online presence, content creation, we'll have Miss Abini Taylor from the AT team, all of us in Tobago. I think we're very familiar with her, the businesses that she has started and how well she's doing her businesses. So she as well is very fitting to talk about these things with the participants, content creation and building your online presence.
So have you guys gotten a lot of requests from your membership and even just from young people in general about just the challenges that they are facing in preparing their businesses for these things?
Yes, that's something that overall you see a lot of people complaining about. I, for one, I'm one of those people who complain about it. I complain, but it's not like I'm not aware of what to do. But the process is so lengthy and it's so annoying that when you reach on, you realize, oh crap, I need my birth certificate. Oh crap, I need this. And all of these things, it's not things that you would have on you on a daily basis. So we are going to prepare it in a way where you know that you're going to do this. So this, and this is what you're going to need to have, so that you don't get stuck. And because I did not complete my OPR because of that same purpose. We have to having to go back and find this document and then find this next one and then go and apply for this next one. It's a stressful process. So we're gonna just try to ease that stress a little bit.
Well, and generally we put on projects that we see a need for in the community. So we have heard it from members, we have heard it from persons in the community. I myself, I attended a OPR sensitization session and persons were there expressing their discomforts with navigating the system. So we came up with this project to really help persons. And then we are an MPO, so we have to make money in order to continue to put on projects and to be sustainable. So we charge a small fee, a small contribution to JCI of $250.
Now, most importantly, how can people get involved or be part of the seminar? Where do they register? How do they make their payments? That sort of thing.
Right. So all our JCI social media pages, you can contact. Zarian is very responsive. So our Facebook, our Instagram, as well, you could reach out to any JCI member, myself, Zarian, or President Kendra. Anybody that you know are part of JCI, they will be able to let you know how you can register and get your tickets purchased. But also our social media pages, very responsive, quick time. So that is one of the easiest and fastest way to get onto us.
And is it open to everybody or just young people?
Yes, all JCI stuff are open to everybody. I get passionate about this because I hear people telling me, well, as JCI, I can't come. And that's not the case. We put on projects and we put on trainings and stuff, and it's not just for the members of JCI to benefit. The goal is to benefit the entire society, the entire community. So yes, the entire population is welcome to be a part of it.
Yes, and even if you don't have a business, but you are thinking of starting one, you will need this information. So because signing up to the company registry online system, you will need to have this information before you even try to go onto the system and the OPR as well, because as I said, you could go on today and you get stuck, you get demotivated and you don't go any further if you're not given the information before you go on. So all persons, entrepreneurs, potential entrepreneurs, business owners, the team, the staff, all are invited to be a part of this seminar.
All right, and then of course, just when and well, I mean, I know you're still determining the location, but just to remind the viewers, when is this happening?
So it's May 25th, and most likely it will be at the Show Park complex, right? We're just working out a couple of things because they have another project that same day, but most likely it's going to be there. I spoke with them yesterday, so it's from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m.
And is there any deadline for applying?
Well, we're taking persons all up to the 24th, but we'd really like persons to come forward so we'll be able to cater for you properly in terms of giving you the packages and handouts. So when you come that day, you're going to get packages with all the information and things that you need. So we encourage you to register anytime. It's already open for persons to start registering.
All right. Well, I want to thank you so much for being on with us and for sharing this information, and certainly hope that people take up the opportunity because, of course, as you said, I mean, we know the process is quite complicated. It's stressful, yes. All right. So viewers, so if you are struggling and, you're trying to navigate the process, because we know it's tough. We know for whatever reason we like to make things difficult in Trinidad and Tobago, but it is what it is when there is help. So this is one way you can get some help. All right, so thank you so much for being on with us this morning.
Thank you for having us again.
All right, viewers, I got to go for a quick break, but we'll be back right after this.
Tipsy presents Sip and Paint, an expression of a mother's love. Join us at the Tropicist Beach Hotel, Sunday, May 12th from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Guests are entitled to finger foods and wine. Full package painter tickets only $600. And if you just want to hang out, we've got you. Limers pay $450. You'll be entertained by a special sensational reggae artist, a live band, and come witness our bonfire. We've got loads of giveaways. We're catering to mom all evening. Sunday, May 12th, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Tropicist Beach Hotel. Come, sip and paint with Tipsy.
On Saturday, April 27th, the atmosphere in Black Rock, Tobago will be filled with the sweet sound of jazz as Black Two Sugars and Starfish Tobago present Beachfront Jazz from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. A premium drinks inclusive event featuring Ace Bajan saxophonist Arturo Tappan and band, Trinidad Top Jazz Ensemble, Alan Paulay with Vaughn and Bigfoot, Tobago songstress Kai De Beer, and just added veteran jazz guitarist Michael Boothman, pianist Hannah Goodrich, and new sensation Rose. Backed by the Beachfront Jazz Project, led by Emmy Fortune. Beachfront Jazz, all part of the Tobago Jazz and Music Weekend. Get your tickets now at Cache Port of Spain, Trin City, Eastgate, Gulf City Malls in Trinidad, Lowlands Mall in Tobago, and Gencare Day Spa, Woodbrook and Tobago. Or call 681-1516 or 627-4141. Brought to you by B-Mobile, our telecommunications partner, RBC Royal Bank, Angostura Premium Rums, Hennessy, Johnny Walker Scotch, and the Prime Minister Sports and Culture Fund. Beachfront Jazz, April 27th, Black Rock, Tobago.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates. Now, viewers, we are switching gears again to something special happening for our primary school students here in Tobago. And of course, this is about getting them exposed to governance. And we know that is something that is so important, especially in a space where we wonder about, whether or not we are raising our students to really know about how the government works and about civil proceedings and that sort of thing. So I'm going to speak in this morning with Mr. Alex Job Thomas, and he is the secretary to the presiding officer at the Assembly Legislature. Correct. So special good morning and welcome to you.
Good morning, Candice. Morning, and my pleasure to be here to inform the public about the primary plenary debate and caravan.
Yes. So Alex, go right ahead. Tell me about this. I mean, involving the primary schools, because we've heard about the secondary schools. Correct. We have the youth debates, we have senior debates, we have women debates, and so on. But we're having something that we're getting the primary schools kids involved in plenary sittings.
So the primary plenary is an initiative under the People's House, and the People's House includes the same International Women's Day debate and the Tobago Day debate as well, right? So it's a number of debates, and this year is exciting here because we intend to have a number of debates as well. And there's a new one coming up as well eventually, but we will work on that. And when the time comes, you will know. But yes, this is one of the new initiatives under the People's House, which is the primary plenary, to ensure that the primary school students or primary school children have a voice.
So why are you targeting the primary school students?
We oftentimes, well, okay, so our mandate is to educate and engage, at all levels. And we want to ensure that they have a voice in the space, because we oftentimes hear from the parents, we oftentimes hear from the teachers, we oftentimes hear from the technocrats, but they are the major stakeholders in the education system. And we need to hear from them, because they are the ones who have to go to school, learn, we expect them to learn, we expect them to do the exams and do well, and so forth. So we need to hear from them as well. We need their input. When we get their input, we need to value it as well.
And as part of that now, you're going to have a debate soon.
Correct.
But before the debate, all week this week, you guys are going around to the various primary schools.
Correct. So this week is our caravan to promote the primary plenary, and I must say this is the first time in the nation that we are having a initiative like this. So we are, this is the first time we are promoting the event, going around to the primary schools. On Monday and Tuesday we dealt with the East. Today we are doing Scarborough and environs. Tomorrow we'll be doing the West, and on Friday we'll be doing North Side.
Okay, so what's been involved with this caravan? Is it just, telling people about the Assembly legislature? Are you guys trying to find participants for the debate coming up?
So it's one to promote the primary plenary and to find participants, and we are doing it in a way that will excite the students. So we are not going to do the conventional, okay, just speak to them. We actually excite, having them become excited in terms of the debate, and actually asking them questions, having icebreakers, trivia, even reenactments per se. So having some of our staff pretend they are current assemblymen and so forth, and have a mock debate to show them how a debate is executed. And we're having, as we said, icebreakers and prizes to be won, right? So we actually get having the students, so far from the feedback I've been getting, students are really excited. Even teachers and principals are excited. I remember one principal told me that you are welcome anytime, and she wants to hear the information herself. I wouldn't discuss the school, I said, but yes, we are scheduled to visit a school tomorrow actually. But yes, the students are excited, and we are seeing some gems so far. So yeah, it's a rewarding process. The unfortunate thing is about there are more primary schools than the amount of participants we need, right? But the excitement is present, and even private schools are interested, right? What could happen is that based on the numbers, we may have a second one this year, right? Because we really want to have persons included. Right, but as of now, the first one will be held on June the 6th, and we have our caravan happening to promote the same event. And students will be going through 6 days of training, which is 2 days per week, over a 3-week period. So it's 3 days per week, 2 days a week, sorry. And they will be trained in debating styles and presentation, dress etiquette and civility. Even the presentation in terms of the house, and getting acquainted to the house, because it's one thing to prepare and it's the other thing to contribute and give your presentation in the house. So they have to get acquainted to the space as well. So all of these things are important, and we will do the training.
Certainly. And what's going to be that debate? What are they going to be debating on June 6th?
Well, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but it has to do with the education system and their ability to choose. I really don't want to let the cat out of the bag, because it's a relevant topic, and we really want to hear what the students have to say, and what's their opinion, because that is one thing that when we started planning this initiative, that we emphasized that needed to be important. We needed the students' input, because what persons said might happen, or this was a legitimate concern, is that a teacher might, and we know the teachers will help the students. We really expect that to happen, but we don't want teachers and parents to be writing it from their perspective, or helping the student from their perspective. We want the student to give their input, understand what they are saying, right? We want it to come from them. So
And why is that so important?
because, well, as I mentioned before, you usually, and I will give an example, we usually hear the parents, and I will use an example like SCA. We usually hear the parents and how stressful it was. We hear the teachers, we hear the technocrats, right? Every year. Annually, it's an annual thing. But and then sometimes media, this is not bashing anybody, but sometimes the media might ask the students, how was the exam? And they might describe the exam, it was hard, this part was hard. But do we really look after or look to hear their input? And we don't see that kind of stakeholder meeting happening. And I could recall up to last night I was watching Scene Caribbean News, and I recall the Minister of Education in Barbados addressing a town hall meeting, and she was indicating that the students, they consulted the students, and the students have spoken, and they are incorporating the students' suggestions into the syllabus because they are the important, they are the prime stakeholders in the education system because they are the one being taught during the exam. So it's really important to get their perspective. Don't underestimate them and think that okay, they are not they don't understand, or they are too young. That's the next thing. Persons think that okay, somebody's too young and that person don't have the experience, or that person don't know what they're talking about. But we need to get away from that old thinking and come to a level where young people, because they are the future, they are the ones must take up the mantle after us, and we have to do a good job now to ensure that they have a better life down the road.
And certainly a better life for our country.
Correct.
So, of course, just as we're wrapping up, just give the information about the school caravan and the debates that's coming up.
All right, so just to mention, we did cover the East already, because we ensure that the East must be included. Today we are going to Scarborough environments, like areas like Scarborough, RC, St. Nicholas, Patience Hills, Signal Hill, all these areas. And on Thursday, we are handling the west area, like Bonaccord and those areas. And then on Friday, we're handling the north side area, right? So persons, we are coming to show you and tell you about the caravan. So no need to one teacher actually told me that she thought that she had to come to us. I said, no, we are coming to you. So the persons are excited, and based on the feedback thus far, I think we will have a really nice, the rest of the week, a really nice week, right? And in terms of the debate, I know persons, well, as I mentioned, the first time it's happening, and I know persons are excited. And apart from that, persons will be wearing suit or that kind of way for the chamber. So I know some persons are really, really excited that they are getting the opportunity to actually sit where their representatives sit and debate. And actually, in the society right now, we need that, because the high level of crime, we need persons to self-actualize and those kind of things, because it's really important. So initiatives like this could go really far.
Certainly. All right. I want to thank you so much, Alex. And of course, viewers look forward to on June 6th for that debate with our primary school children and see, what they have to say about something important within their space. And I mean, I'm looking forward to hearing what that debate is going to be about and definitely what their contributions are. So I want to thank you so much, and certainly thank you to the Assembly Legislature for having this initiative and getting our students involved.
Yes, thank you so much, and I really want to be thankful to the presiding officer, because she understands the importance of history and legislative history, and ensuring that our future generations are informed and knowledgeable about the system.
Certainly. All right, viewers, and thank you so much for joining us this morning, and I hope you have a safe and wonderful day, and we will see you again tomorrow. So bye for now.
Go. It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear my neighbor.
You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.